The new paradigm in the music business, I call it collapsing copyright. So where we're moving is, you have the master copyright, you have the publishing copyright, then you have the likeness of the artist. Usually those three pieces are owned by three different entities. And that's a deterrent to the actual copyright. Because usually if one wants to give it away free, the other two don't. It's very rare that all three parties say yes and something moves, forward. So if you collapse that copyright, and all of a suddenly the master, the publishing, and the likeness all sit in one place, then you can maximize that copyright. You can get creative. You can, let's say, give away a song to create revenue on the live side. You can give away a song to create publishing revenue. You can let go of the publishing to create a master revenue. You can do many different things with it. And that maximizes that copyright versus having it split and fractured. You've got three different parties wanting the same remuneration from it, which in many ways halts certain things from actually happening. So where we're moving is to try and get all of our artists to own their intellectual property, to have control, creative control over their intellectual property. And in doing so, they'll actually have more value associated to that copyright. A case in example, the Bare Naked Ladies haven't released a studio album in 3 years. They finished up the Warner Brothers deal. They did a Christmas album. Christmas album sells 400,000 copies. The band walks out with $3.6 million in revenue because of collapsed copyrights. We're on a major label system that would have garnered maybe $500,000 worth of revenue for them. Now they've got a new album. I'm only using the word album because people need to have some context to it. It's a collection of 29 songs. But it's also a collection of 100 masters of those 29 songs. Live versions, acoustic versions, master tones, the studio versions, alternative studio versions. So our whole philosophy is with a collapsed copyright, that allows you to go out and rather than telling the fan or the consumer how to consume your music, you allow them to tell you. You allow them to purchase it any way that they want, however they want, wherever they want, and whenever they want. Where right now we tell them you must buy it on this shiny piece of plastic and you can have 12 songs. And you got to go to a store, you have to do this to actually get it. Or you got to go to iTunes and you can only make 5 copies of it. My whole thing is, that's like telling you to go down to the center of town, fill up your 8-gallon jug of water, take it back to your place, and that's your shower water. That's how the music industry treats people. We tell them how to consume. So in the new paradigm, we don't. We put it everywhere that the consumer is and allow them to decide how they're going to consume it. So with the Bare Naked Ladies album, it's coming out in September. We started selling 21 of those 28 songs in December of last year. The band played 1 song a night on their Christmas tour. If you go and you buy those concerts, there's a new song every night. And you don't need to buy the whole concert, you can buy the song a la carte. So we're not telling you how you have to do it. And there's a lot of people who have found out about it and have already been purchasing these new masters. Now when we release it, we're like going to have every different variation that one could think of. The industry is going to look at this and go, well, they only sold like 400,000 CDs, while the last one did 1 million. And I'm going to go, that's correct. But we probably sold 2 or 3 million masters. And what you're missing is you're stuck in this perception of a per unit based on a piece of plastic. I'm more interested in allowing fans to consume the music the way that they want to. So I've moved out of the per unit way of looking at the world. And I've moved into maximizing the brand, maximizing the copyrights by giving the fans what they want and letting them choose, not me choosing for them. So the Bare Naked Ladies will have a very successful record, but the industry will not know what to make of it. But you think they really care? It's ironic that when they started their independent record label 4 years ago, they called it Desperation Records, because there's nothing desperate about it now, and they're actually really quite happy about it. But that's an example of the new paradigm.